we have ourselves 4 games in the NBA final, but who wants to talk about that? Zach Lowe said that right now the Timberwolves are the first in the buzz rankings for Kevin Durant. So that's what we're going to talk about. Who wants to talk about actual basketball?
Well, you got to hit him with some actual warm-up jumpers eventually. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Like, obviously, we got plenty of 2 to 4 to break down. Like, don't worry, that's gonna be the meat of the episode. But yeah, you got to start with something there a little bit. I mean, we were gonna. I thought about for a second talking about how the Knicks are trying to. We'll save that for Ballin and Fallin.
Anybody and everybody. Your
are
sister,
you an
they would love
active
to
NBA
interview
head
her.
coach? Yeah, you are eligible to be interviewed by the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
No, but right, KD.
But before we go any further, I just want to put it out there. So the Knicks got rid of Tibbs, whatever, without a plan.
No, I don't. I mean, to be fair, I think there was somewhat of a plan.
Sure, but now we're trying to interview everyone and their sister. It's like, bro, this guy got you the furthest you've been in like 25 some years, like, and now you're out here just trying to interview anybody and everybody. You didn't have an idea of who you wanted to go for?
Oh, no, I think they had an idea. It's just they all have jobs currently. And I think they thought they were going to be able to pry one of them. And it's like, I don't want to get too far into it. Back Kevin Durant, he's not really rumored to go to the Knicks here at all. There's a list of different teams. I mean, he has been brought up with New York at times, but a lot of them are the ones you'd expect: Houston, San Antonio, Miami, Minnesota, who apparently has jumped out, which, again, super intriguing fit. Him and Anthony Edwards, we said this off the mic, but just an all-time trash-talking duo between those two. I would love to. That's an essential mic'd up content there.
Yeah, and we, well, when we were talking about it, it's like Kevin Durant and Ant obviously have from Team USA some chemistry there, so maybe there's some familiarity. I'm telling you, I think depending on how this series finals still works out, I think that definitely changes where KD would potentially go. I know you've already alluded to it before in the past, but like if OKC doesn't win,
I love it. Push in, get KD. I'm 100% there. Push in. Go now.
I mean,
because you have so many picks that you probably wouldn't even have to like really get that weird with it and make a drastic, substantial change. Like you're obviously not moving SGA. You probably don't have to move Chet to get KD with all the stuff you have. Like worst case, you have to move Jalen Williams, which is like that's not a light decision, but right. Again, that's a huge if OKC wins the finals, nothing is happening, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But it's an intriguing destination. I mean, some of these, again, Houston should be in the conversation, but it's also weird with Houston because it's like, well, who do you want? Do you want KD or do you want Giannis? Like, if Giannis is still available, like that's the crown jewel you go all in for. Like, Giannis is the guy I want. He's younger. And the injury risk is frankly a lot lower with Giannis than it is with Kevin Durant. I do like this. I mean, we talked about Minnesota, and it's funny because I feel like when they got bounced from the conference finals, our whole big talk was, yeah, they have some decisions to make, but they're probably not going to do anything crazy. And then, oh, by the way, trading for Kevin Durant would be a massive swing for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're right. Like, it's more of what do they give up? A lot of what they have, like, they burn a lot of their compensation to go get Rudy a few years ago. Now you got some of it back for Cat.
But that's my point is like anytime KD has gone to a team, I feel like, Nets, obviously Suns, potentially Timberwolves would be the same issue. Is like you immediately run into a depth issue. And it's because the team has to give so much up to get you. It's like, how many times are we going to do this where like you go to a team, but they have to give up all their depth to get you, and we run back the same issue? To me, a team like OKC wouldn't have to worry about that as much, like you said, because of all the assets that they have. Like they would still be able to keep that depth because of how much they have now and would be able to get with draft picks. Like I get what you're saying. I love the idea of Ant and KD together, and maybe Rudy. I just depends on what they would have to give up to get him. I just think we could run into the same problem with a depth issue.
Yeah, I mean, it's realistically like, so what are you going to put up if you're Minnesota?
Right.
And I don't think given KD's age, it would be the absurd haul that you would need, when Phoenix made the trade, for example.
Sure.
Now you're probably looking at like I mean, I'm not saying you're giving up nothing. Like, you're probably giving up Gobert, maybe like DiVincenzo, a Rob Dillingham, like a younger player, something like that. And yeah, you're right. Like, you do take a step back there potentially, but like, you still have bigs at that point. Like, you've got Reed, you've got Randall. I don't know though. I mean, you're still giving up Gobert. Like, I think your ideal situation would be if you have Ant, Gobert, and KD.
That's your three. Yeah.
I also just like, I don't know, if I'm Phoenix, I look around and I go, Houston's probably got a better offer, right? Like, you can have picks and you can have young players if you're Houston. Like, I don't think Phoenix is going to be in a situation, they don't want to totally crater. You still have Devin Booker. Like, you want to make the most of Book's prime, but like, you're not really in a position to start winning immediately right now, or not contending at least. And so I wonder if you don't go for a more lucrative offer there. Like, I think Minnesota, if Kevin Durant wants to win, Minnesota of all these situations, or Houston right now, is probably the best case scenario. I mean, I know Houston had an exit this year, but again, losing to a tough Golden State squad. And with all the youth they have, like, KD gives them, that kind of puts them over the top. Like, it still if Houston isn't going to get Giannis, and Giannis isn't available, which again, I said it earlier, but like, that still kind of hangs over all of this. If you want to go with the save around KD, though, like, that does make the most sense to me, as I think Houston right now can win immediately with Kevin Durant. I think, San Antonio, again, same sort of deals. Like, the thing with him and Wemby is very intriguing. You have De'Aaron Fox now as well, you just brought in from Sacramento. And there, you give up, it's probably going to cost you Castle and a bunch of picks, which is like not an insignificant haul, but you're more kind of equipped to win now. And like, look, your long term is still wide open as long as you've got Wemby.
Yeah.
I don't know. Miami's offer, they keep mentioning Miami, they keep mentioning the Knicks. The Knicks would just be interesting if they blew it up. Like, are you going to move Mikal Bridges and, X younger players or picks to go get Kevin Durant? Like, that would be intriguing. But again, you moved a lot of picks to get Bridges last summer. Like,
yeah.
But I think
And I know the conversation around the Knicks is like, get depth. And so again, I don't think that kind of move really fixes the Knicks issue where, again, the perceived reason you moved on from Thibs is to get a few more people into the rotation and have more depth so that you guys aren't gassed by the end of games or by the end of seasons. And like, I obviously adding Kevin Durant changes the whole dynamic, but like, that doesn't fix that issue, which is why you got rid of Thibs. So, or at least in my opinion, why you got rid of Thibs. So, I don't know. The proposed trade, obviously, like we kind of were alluding to, Rudy Gobert, DiVincenzo, Dillingham would be in a package. There was some potential to have to flip Julius Randle, Mike Conley. This is all according to the bright side of the sun. So, like,
Randall, you also can't trade right now. Like, he has to opt in. That's the biggest thing. Like, if Randall opts in, then sure, but that has to happen before you can even put him on the table.
Yep, and they're saying he would have to be included just to make the salaries match part as well. So none of that really screams go to the Suns in terms of, you need some younger talent. Those guys aren't really younger talent. I think Rudy Gobert would be an awesome addition in general, just because he could be a defensive anchor for them. DiVincenzo's got some scoring. I'm about that. But yeah, the rest is like, cool. Dillingham's young, promising player, but then Randall and Mike Conley are like vets and to Randall's point, has to opt in. So I don't like it as much. Again, it just goes back to a depth conversation. And I mean, maybe it's just because it's top of mind because the two teams in the finals right now have an insane amount of depth,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we haven't even really talked about Miami. I mean, Miami's the other team that gets mentioned in here too. Which we always say all the time, like, Miami's going to be one of those teams who always gets a look from free agents. And it feels like, obviously, that's the situation. I mean, no matter what, post Jimmy Butler, you got to start it over. I guess, do you like that for Miami? Of course, it would boost this core right now. But I'm also just like, Kevin Durant is 37 years old. It feels like Miami needs a lot more than Kevin Durant right now, right?
Yeah, I think it would. Yes. I would say you want someone that fits the time. Like, Kevin Durant's a win now, which is why I get the Timberwolves would be in contention, and like OKC we joke about, and the Rockets we talk about. But I feel like the Heat are a few more steps behind those teams that have shown flashes of being ready to go. And that's not, well, I guess it is the Heat's doing, but it's like Jimmy Butler was just traded. And so that definitely changes a lot of where your timeline is perceived, at least around the NBA.
Well, and you're not going to trade if you're trying to contend with Kevin Durant. You're ideally not going to trade Tyler Hero or Bam Adebayo.
You need them both. Yeah.
And so at that point, it's like, what are you giving them? What is Phoenix getting from Miami that's any bit better than what Minnesota or Houston can offer? And that's just kind of what my holdup is with Miami right now.
I wonder if, like a third team gets involved for any of these deals to kind of make sense, on a Sun side or on a whatever side. I do wonder if that ends up happening. A team that needs to unload or offload or is willing to take on some salaries to kind of start getting some more assets as well. So it would be interesting to see what third teams potentially are floating around there to try to, help themselves as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I wouldn't be surprised at all if a third team got in to try to make some of the salary work. But everybody keeps saying around KD is imminent, and again, kind of surprising just because we thought there would maybe be a hold up there. But I mean, we know Phoenix wants to get it done too. Like, there's been, they've all been working together. Like, there's no animosity with Phoenix right now. Like, this is very much a mutual process. Yep. So we'll see. Maybe. Hopefully we get some help with the timing gods and it doesn't drop immediately after we record this podcast. But I do think it may very well be in the time where, we could have a KD destination here sooner than later.
It is worth mentioning Reddit's talking about how the Heat's odds to acquire on DraftKings went from plus 1,000 to plus 250 last night. So maybe there's something to it. I mean, listen, the books always know. So here we are,
Yeah. I mean, hey, we're top. Like you said, we went from 5 teams. It feels like the latest Shams report was down to 3. So I guess we'll see if any of those are true. Vegas does tend to know these things. Welcome everybody to the Driving Dish NBA podcast. My name is Kevin Rafuse. Joining me as always, my co-host Justin Cousart.
I took this year to reflect on my career and life, and I've realized that if I've gotten to where I am today, it's not because of the assists I've given, but it's because of the assists I received. This isn't goodbye. It's thank you for all the people who have helped me along the way.
Okay. All right. Who we got? That's pretty nice. That's a very nice retirement note. I got to be honest, I don't know who retired this week. So who did retire this week?
That's what got me curious, because I don't know if it's got to be an official retirement announcement, I assume, but it's still very vague. And then everybody else, at least the stories that came off of this, were talking about how it was vague and kind of not clear if this person was going to retire. Your hint is played for Minnesota, played for the Jazz, played for the Suns, back to Minnesota and Cleveland, in that order, really, of the career.
Minnesota, Jazz, Suns, Jazz, back
point
to
guard.
Cleveland. Oh, is this Rubio?
This is Rubio.
Wait, I thought Rubio retired ages ago.
I thought so too.
Wait, what? Ricky Rubio retired? Like, we talked about this on the podcast. What else did he retire from?
I don't know. I'm not sure. He's just he put out a whole page ad, and it's he talks about all the teams that he went to, but that's really all we got out of it. So I'm with you. I thought he already retired, but here we are.
Well, yeah, I guess he put out this full page ad in the Minnesota Star Tribune, because I'm looking at this now, and he's been playing in the Spanish league. Like, he hasn't been playing in the NBA since the middle of 2024. Like, he was with Cleveland last time. Yeah, I mean, he did. Because he released I'm reading this now on Yahoo, and he released a formal statement to clarify that he's not retiring. He just wants to thank people. That's very sweet of Ricky Rubio. Thank you. I mean, we appreciate that, but I'm just I'm kind of baffled. Like,
I'm confused now. Yeah, I know. I thought when I saw it, and that's why I didn't bring it up to you off the mic, is because I figured it was good to just talk about this on the mic. As I saw it, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize he hadn't retired yet. So then I Googled it to be like, see what else people have. Like maybe they pulled up all his stats or something like that to kind of look at it. And everyone's like, did he retire? It's like, oh, wait, no, he said he didn't. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No, I guess not. I mean, like I said, you're playing overseas. He's been playing in Spain. So, well, all right, there we go. I mean, hey, shout some positivity, I guess. We all need some positivity these days.
Yep. I don't know if I should even try to attempt the Spanish, though. The gracias por la assistance.
Yo, that is gross. You live in Florida. Your Spanish should not be that gross. I know it's Jacksonville, but like,
I failed out of Spanish too. The teacher literally asked me to leave and told me I probably shouldn't take the class anymore.
That's crazy. Like,
my brain just can't do it, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, look, learning another language, especially as you get older, is harder. Like, that is one thing. I do genuinely, I don't have many, like, heavy regrets, and I don't really, this isn't a heavy one. Like, I don't regret taking French for all my classes, but, like, man, I really should have taken Spanish. That would have been way more useful in America. Let me tell you, I would have got way more use out of that.
Yeah,
not as much now living up in back in Philly area compared to Florida, obviously. Like, but when I was in Orlando, I would have used the hell out of that Spanish.
There were a few kids that always took like different language, like Latin and stuff like that. And I get it because a lot of our language, mostly in general,
taking Latin in 2025. Get a life, dude. That language is dead.
Okay, I'm with you. It's a quote unquote dead language.
Are you going to preach at the Vatican? Then why are you learning Latin if you're not?
No, but it's good to know. It's good to know, like, you see trends because you understand Latin, if that makes sense.
I get it. I'm kind of hating a little bit. But...
Well, no, because I'm hating too, because I remember back then being like, "What? When are you ever going to use this?" Like, you know, like
anytime there's Latin in the law, I just roll my eyes every time.
Just go take Pig Latin at that point. Like,
well, it's just like talk like a normal person. It's 2025. Like,
what are we, Shakespeare over here trying
to? It's just like, no, it's like don't write in your brief. Like, don't start using parents' patriae. Like, I get it, but like there are just other ways to say that.
Yes.
Shout out to Professor Goldfarb, by the way. Great family law teacher. She's a real one.
I wonder what, like, some NBA headlines in Latin.
It's just like, it's not a, like, I understand that it was heavily important, and it is. It's the baseline for a lot of different languages. But I'm also just like, go learn the current languages. Like, it's way more whatever. There's going to be somebody that's correcting me, be like, no, if you just don't, there's going to be some linguist out there who's going to be like, Latin is the reason that I know these 15 different languages, and I'm going to feel bad.
I would butcher all this. I asked ChatGPT to give me NBA headlines in Latin, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just no chance I will butcher this whole thing. There's just no way I can try to attempt
no
this.
Shot. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I guess if you can't do struggling with Spanish, and Latin does feel like it'd be a little harder.
LeBron James triumphant again. The Lakers are victorious would translate to LeBron James triumphant interim Lakers victorious sunt.
Okay. I mean, all right. That actually wasn't as crazy. I mean, basically, it's the same thing, more or less. It didn't feel like it was that different.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A lot of it is, Giannis, a monstrum in arena, duplex, triple consensus est? Triple double. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to offend somebody by accident. All right. So, yeah, Kevin Durant on the move.
Yeah, leave us a review on iTunes, good or bad. We'll read them on the podcast. If you're not an Apple user, Google Play Store, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Player FM, anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us.
And we're on YouTube. Just find us, Driving Dish NBA Podcast on YouTube. You can subscribe. You'll get notifications when the video version's coming out. Obviously, there's some visual elements with Immaculate Grid and all that.
Now, a word from our sponsors.
So we're all tied up. It's 2-2. We're heading back to OKC now. Just a quick recap, the 4 games. Pacers won the first one, 111-110. Thunder put it on the Pacers in game 2, 123-107. Pacers again win game 3, 116-107. And then Thunder won last night, which I thought was over when I went to bed. Pacers had a pretty good lead. I thought it was donezo, and I thought we were going into game 5 3-1, but here we are, 2-2. And I'll tell you what, man, I've been hammering Lou Dort under parlays, and it has been paying off.
That's so disrespectful when Lou Dort's playing good in this series. Like, that's crazy. How are you going to start with by slandering Lou Dort?
Like, listen, I'm not slandering Lou Dort. I love it. It's, it's like the under's like 4.5 threes, 2 assists, 1 steal. You just hammer the under on all of it as a parlay, and you make some money. It's a fun time. But yeah, I would say significantly more. I don't think the word entertaining is not the word I'm looking for. More, I guess the word is close, because I kind of thought OKC was going to come in here initially and just blow the doors off it. I like I said, I thought it was only going to go 5 games. At this point, I'm willing to say it's probably going 7. I'm kind of, though it seems to be a curse these days, I'm kind of leaning on the Pacers, man. They have been so impressive yet again, surprising everybody. But my overall thoughts is I think it goes 7, but at this point, the Pacers have won me over.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been high on the Pacers. I've been consistently high on the Pacers. My pick for this series was OKC in 6. And we podcasted about game 1 last week. Like, it was like, man, the Pacers just keep pulling these off. Like, that's crazy. But I think game 2 went kind of how we expected. Like, OKC won big. And that's the only game that was pretty one-sided for the most part. Like, OKC was firmly in control of game 2 the entire time. Bounced back the way we thought they would.
Mm-hmm.
Indy, like... And when that happens, like, you're right, like, even with Indy winning game 1, there was a part of me that saw many scenarios where OKC ran Indy out of the gym and just kind of like, oh, you lose the first game, you come back, you win the next 4 in a row because you're the better team here. And so, like, in that sense, for me as a basketball fan, I'm thrilled that this is 2-2, and I was thrilled that Indy won game 3 the way they did, because it just meant, right, like, we're just going to get more. It's not going to be this short 5-game one-sided series. Like, and it's funny because, I mean, game 3 and game 4, essentially it was just the opposite storylines, right? It was like OKC was winning most of game 3, and then Indy, comes out, great fourth quarter, really just, get it done when they need to, dominate that frame, and come out with a 2-1 lead. Then you flip it in game 4, right? Like, you've got Indy who's in control for most of this game. OKC knows exactly what it is, like, feeling the pressure. OKC couldn't have gone down 3-1. Like, the series is over, in my opinion, if they go down 3-1. And I know we've seen the comebacks, but, like, I don't think they would have had it here. But give them credit. Like, SGA MVP having his MVP moment, like, he was crucial in that final frame. I think he had 15 points in the final 5 minutes, like, just hit multiple big shots when they had to. I mean, the Pacers, again, 4-point lead, and we've seen how unsafe leads are, especially in games involving the Pacers. But, like, they were up in this game late. Like, they had a 4-point lead with about 3:20 left for OKC to find a way. Like, even with it being 2-2, and even with it as feisty as the Pacers have been, I still think you feel pretty good, and you would want to be OKC in this situation now, because we go, hey, this is a best of 3 series, and no matter what, we've got 2 games at home potentially. Like, I do think, I mean, look, it's I don't feel like we need to say this. This isn't some, like, grandiose take, but game 5 feels like the series, right? Like, it's so crucial for both of these teams. If Indy wins game 5, you're going back to Indianapolis for game 6 with a chance to win your first title in franchise history on your home floor. Like, both of these arenas have been electric the whole time. I mean, hats off to the fans. And, like, I don't miss me with all that small market stuff. Like, I'm so over that dialogue. Because both these crowds have been showing out in every single one of these games in OKC and in Indy. And yeah, I mean, we're at the point now where, Indy, you win game 5, you feel pretty good about going back to game 6. And if you're OKC at that point, and I mean, yeah, no matter what, then you've got 2 cracks at closing this deal. Even if you lose game 6, God forbid, you still have another shot. OKC, you win game 5, your worst case scenario is, hey, we're going back home. Like, we're going back home for game 7. Like, even if we lose game 6 at Indy, we can go back. We've got a shot at this. We've already won a game 7 against Denver earlier this year, pretty convincingly. Like, it's going to be on our home floor, like it was in that series. Like, they have the blueprint for this. Like, they've kind of been in this scenario before, and like that has been impressive about OKC. Is it's like, look, they've been punched twice and they pulled themselves off the mat. Like, that's what good teams do. The question is, it's like, that's also now the question for Indy is every time OKC's bounced back and it looks like, hey, this is the better team. This is kind of what we expected. They came out in game 3 and found a way to win. Like, they know what's at stake too, but this game 5 is setting up to be absolutely incredible because they're certainly the quality of play has certainly been strong so far in the series.
And it's definitely on the stars. Obviously, Hallie and Siakam and SGA and Chet. Like, we're definitely talking about these guys, and they're definitely a big part of the games, and they're a huge need for the teams when they do win. But I would also say there's a few guys that I've kind of flagged as like fully showing up and outdoing at least what they did in the regular season. And just to name, like, I guess 3 of them off the top of my head, Obi Toppin has been phenomenal. I know he plays great during the season, but these playoffs have been awesome. And even in game 4, there was a part where he had a wide open shot and he didn't take it and he passed it and it ended up being a contested 3 or something like that. Then you just saw the next 2 times he had an open shot. He still took it. Now, the counter to that is he was 0 for 3 from 3. So I understand why he probably passed it, but like, you got to take those wide open shots, and you got to do those things. And so to that, in game 4, obviously 17 points. Obi Toppin's defense was really good too. But on top of that, on the other side, we have to bring up Alex Caruso, who is now like the third scorer on the team. 3rd or 4th has got to be at this point. I think he was 9th on the list. I saw a stat saying he was like 9th on the charts for OKC in terms of scoring this season. But even last game, right? He was 7 for 9, 50% from 3, 7 free throws, made 5 of them. 20 points.
He's had 20 in both their wins.
Yeah, 5 steals. And then on the other side, who obviously we got to talk about his legacy. And if he does win a ring, if he'll be higher than Chris Paul, because I think we do need to have this conversation. TJ McConnell, I mean, he had a 10, 5, and 5, man. Like, and I know the running joke, obviously, with us is how much we hype up TJ McConnell because of the Sixers connection and all that stuff. But in game 3, TJ McConnell was the spark. Anytime it felt like the Pacers started to slow up or fall into a rhythm, TJ McConnell was catching an inbound pass and quick turnaround offense for them or something like that, or making some crazy layup and flexing on everybody. Like, TJ McConnell in game 3 was the spark the Pacers really needed, which is surprising because of how fast they play.
Oh, it's the effort. Like, TJ's effort is just contagious. Like, he's a dog. He will give you 120% every time he's on the floor. That's why he grinded into a roster spot with the Sixers. That's why he's worked so well in Indy. And like, look, he plays winning basketball. Like, he's a guy you want on your team at this time of year. I mean, and the bench was the story for the game at Indy, right? Because like, you got to talk about Benedict Mathurin too. Like a guy who was one of the better rookies last year, got hurt, didn't play in the conference finals, has been on the bench, but talk about like stepping up and getting your moment when you need it, right? Like leading all scorers with 27 points. Like that was absolutely crucial. They needed that guy in game 3. So you're right. A lot of credit for them. I mean, going back to Caruso, 20 points in both those wins. I think that's huge. I mean, we already know what he does on the defensive end, but you're right. Like if he can give you that punch offensively too, like that really has been big. The encouraging sign for OKC for me, the last 2 games has been not just SGA, but it's been Jalen Williams too. Like Jalen Williams is the guy where, you kind of, he needs to be that number 2 guy, like that offensive punch, especially when Chet's kind of been struggling a little bit these series. He's been the last 2 games, even with the loss in game 3, game 4 in the win, 27 points, 8 of 18 from the field. Game 3 in the loss, he still had 26 points. Like he's being aggressive. He's taking the shots he needs to. You're going to feel good about your shot if that's what he's given you with what SGA's been given every night too. And I mean, look, give SGA a lot of credit. Like I think down the stretch of game 3, he just didn't really deliver. Like he had 24 points, but like it took 20 shots to get that. It was pretty inefficient overall. This was kind of, again, MVP. This is his team. really late in the fourth quarter, when again the spotlight's been on, good for him for stepping up. Like you said, he was the superstar that they needed him to be at the end of Game 4 the other night, and I think that was the big story for me for OKC.
Yeah, I agree. The one that is, I guess, from an OKC side that I guess you could say has been a little disappointing has been the efficiency from Chet. Obviously, rebounds are still there, but yeah, I mean the shooting hasn't been great. In Game 4, he only attempted 1 3, didn't make it. But Game 3, he tried 6, he didn't make one. I'm curious to see where he's at if Game 2, because that would start to be okay. He was 1 for 3. So maybe it's just finals jitters and I don't know, but we definitely need to see a little bit more efficiency from Chet in the scoring side of things. Now, again, I think to your point, Jalen Williams has stepped up in those moments and been that person that they need him to be. I would say Alex Caruso as well. So
yeah,
not like a glaring thing. I mean, if Chet's still grabbing you 15 boards and only shooting 9 attempts and given, whatever, 44% field goal percent, you'll still take that. That's 14 points, 15 rebounds. I'll work with that. No, but it's definitely been a little less efficient than maybe preferred.
No, I mean,
he has been. I will put this out there too. I've seen a few times when the Pacers go to box out Chet, and man, he just gets pushed out of the way, and I'm like, he just needs a little more weight on him, I think. You know what I mean? Yeah. It just seems like Turner just gets him out of the way. He can really just push him. So at least from a rebounding. Yeah.
Well, when he came in the league, that was always one of the bigger concerns is it was hey, and I think some of that will come. Again, he's still very, very young at this point and coming off injury.
Yep.
But you're right. And I mean, OKC's gone back with a double big lineup. We've seen, originally they had Case and Wallace in the starting lineup. Now they've moved Hartenstein back into that role. And so, we'll see if they stick with that the rest of the way. That was their starting lineup for the majority of the season. I mean, one more Caruso point, you look at the minutes in Game 4, he's basically getting starters minutes. I mean, he played more minutes than anyone not named Chet, Jalen Williams, SGA, and Lou Dort. That's, he's an important player. He's one of the most important players in the series on that team. Both these teams' depth have been on display. The defense has been on display. I mean, that was the other thing last night with OKC too, is it's look, their defense has gotten them here largely, and their defense came through when they needed to. At the end of Game 3, Indy just got anything they wanted. OKC didn't let that happen at the end of Game 4. And Indy, again, who's been so masterful in these clutch situations, they finally didn't just, they got outdone in the clutch for the first time. And so, yeah, you're interested to see, when Indy was so close to having OKC on the ropes, you do wonder now if that shifts a little bit. You got to feel good if you're OKC. It's hey, we're going back home. We can put them on the ropes despite, all the moments where it feels like we've been the better team and we've let opportunities slip. We've still got a shot right in front of us.
And if they do win on Monday, which is the next game for anybody wondering, if they do win on Monday, that will quite literally feel like the first time where the OKC Thunder, other than before the whole series started, would have the upper hand, if that makes sense. Obviously, Pacers won the first game. And ever since that, it has really felt everyone is honed in on the Pacers. Even when the Thunder won Game 2, it still felt very Pacers-centric. Everyone's talking about what can Hallie be doing to win more. It wasn't wow, the Thunder came in there, they were efficient, they blew the doors off them. It was what else can Hallie do? Hallie needs to be more aggressive. Hallie's this, Hallie that. And if the Thunder win Game 5, though, because it's at that point you need one more, I think it finally feels like the shift to OKC finally happens where it's okay, we might be there.
I got to be honest, Justin, I think it's already happened.
You think?
I think that Game 4 was the shift. I think winning that Game 4 late was the shift. And again, many people are identifying with Indy because it's such a great story. This is such a fun underdog story. Again, going for the first one, nobody expected them to be here. They play just a wonderful style of basketball to watch. And you're right. When they won all these improbable games that it feels like they shouldn't have, to an extent. I look back at the East and I go, is that true necessarily? But with here though, like with OKC, like we know OKC is the better team. I mean, I think Indy would tell you that OKC is the better team, but I think you start to buy into that underdog story, especially too when they go up 2-1. It's like, hey, they really might do this. But then when OKC wins that, all of a sudden going get back to game 5, it's like, right, did that switch just flick? Because if they win game 5, like, I don't know, like I keep wanting to find, and again, me as a neutral, I'm rooting for this to be a 7-game series. Like that's what I want to happen no matter what. I hope it goes 7.
Sure.
I keep wanting to find ways for this Indy team to win, and they definitely do. But like, I'm also sitting here and going, hey, OKC's got 2 out of 3 at home now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just feel like I don't think the Pacers have 2 more wins in them. And maybe this gets clipped next week and I look like a fool. And if Indy wins game 5, I'm going to feel the exact opposite. Like, I will say that. Like, if Indy wins game 5 at OKC, I think they're winning. Like, I feel like they're going to close at home then. I feel like at that point you will have gotten to them. And just like that crowd, the way it'll be with the opportunity they have, like, I feel like they'll know what it is. But like, I just can't shake this vision of OKC winning game 5. And then at that point, I just feel good about it overall. Like, I think, because even if OKC wins 5, I definitely think Indy could win on their home floor and win that game 6. Like, I could very much see Indy winning game 6 and forcing 7. But it's like, do I think Indy is going to win a game 7 in Oklahoma City? God, I just have such a hard time envisioning that.
Yeah.
And if there's a team that would pull it there, it's them. But it's like, that's such a, I mean, the only time we've ever seen that is when LeBron did it. That was LeBron. Like, that's one of the greatest players ever.
Though, like a game winner Hallie shot, game 7 in OKC would be very Hallie thing to happen, if that makes sense.
It would be the cap of maybe one of the coldest individual playoff runs I've ever seen. And regardless of how this goes down, like Hallie's
still one of them.
He's got it. It's still one of those runs. Like, I look at Hallie, if they don't end up winning, I look at this Hallie run the way I look at like Jimmy Butler during the bubble, where it was like, look, I know they lost. It ain't Jimmy Butler's fault. Like, I'm not coming out of this going, there was like, they left something on the table. Like, Indy hasn't left anything on the table for sure. I don't feel like they're missing opportunities.
It's interesting though, because the Jimmy Butler side of it is Jimmy was leading the team in points. I'm almost positive of it. He had to have been. Where Hallie's not. In some cases he is, but it's mostly Siakam who's leading the team, but if they are.
Hallie's still the guy, though.
I know.
Like, at the end of the day, like, he's the engine that makes this work. And you're right. Like, the team is, like, that's been the story of Indy is their depth. It's all these guys. It's Siakam. It's Nesmith. It's Nembhard. It's Miles Turner.
Miles Turner getting all these blocks on Chet. It's like, dang, dude. Like,
it was cold. At the end of game 3, that was cold. That was a really, and you know what? Good for Miles Turner, because Miles Turner struggled most of that game. Like, he really just wasn't in any sort of rhythm. But, find a way to make an impact. He found a way to make an impact there. It's been look, the series has been great. It's been a lot of fun. Like I said, I am rooting for this to go 7. I still think even if OKC wins 5, it's going 7. I do think Indy is not going to go out on their, I think Indy's going to find a way, even though that goes against my OKC and 6 pick. But I'm sitting here. I feel like it flipped. I feel like Indy had their shot last night to really knock them off. And OKC knew it. SGA said it as much in the post game. He was like, we know what this looks like if it's 3-1.
Yeah.
It's not impossible, but I don't think they're going to beat this Indy team 3 times in a row. Like, I am pretty firm about that. So, credit to OKC for getting it done. Like, that was my big takeaway, is saying, man, it feels like that was Indy's shot to win it last night. It does feel like OKC is back in the driver's seat now. And we'll see what happens in game 5. Like, obviously, this is the pivotal game here at this point. But
they had they had a 10-point lead, I think was the biggest one that Indy had on them last game. And it's like, man, you really needed to close that out. And really shut the door, almost what you were saying, which is wild. Wow. I didn't realize that OKC was shooting 18% from 3 last game.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Jeez.
Like, and that's where you look back and you go, man, that was a winnable game.
If you're Pacers,
from the Indy positive perspective, I go, hey, if we're OKC, like, we should have won some of these games too. We should have won game 1. We should have won game 3, and they didn't. So like, it does go back and forth. I do trust this Indy team to, again, get themselves off the mat. Like, that's the big thing too, is it's like, I don't think they take the mental blows. Like, their response in game 3 was impressive to me after the way game 2 went. Like, there hasn't been a single, other than game 2, all these games have been close for the most part. And so I think you got to feel good about that as well. You got to, I trust their mentality, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Game 4 almost immediately goes back to what we talked about before the series even started, is the big man, the height difference, the points in the paint. I mean, Indy was outscored points in the paint. OKC had 50. They had 23 second chance points. Indy only had 13. They only had 35 points in the paint. Like, that is where some of that size is starting to come through. And, you go back, you talk about some of the bigger guys that they were trying to bring in to help with that. Thomas Bryant is one that I know OKC has found a way to make kind of you almost have trouble playing him at times because they're essentially just fouling him or putting him in a spot where he's not going to be able to help. So I'm interested to see if the Pacers are able to adjust with that and try to combat the height difference in Game 5.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like we said, OKC going back to the double big lineup seems like they, like it's worked for most of the season. So
yep.
We'll see if they continue to stick with that, which I think they will. All right, who's balling, who's falling? Our NBA version of the stock market. We always like start with the good before we start with the bad. So Justin, I'll start with you this week. Who is balling?
Ballin for me is going to go to OKC fans who stayed up until 3:30 a.m. last night. So they're probably still sleeping as of recording this podcast.
So I hope so.
They stayed there to greet OKC home. Shout out to them. That's awesome. Because I was telling Kevin off the mic, there is very little to almost nothing that would get me to stay up till 3 a.m. at this point in my life. Quite literally nothing. Like, it could be a finals run for the 76ers, and I'm not staying up till 3:30 a.m.
No, I'm there. Sixers got me. I'm staying up till 3:30 for the Sixers.
Nope,
sure.
I promise
to watch
you.
That game?
I would watch a game. I'm not staying up for them to come home on a team flight to.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, no, I'm not that dedicated. I'm not dedicated. Shout out to the guys, but like I'm not going out at 3:30.
No, dude.
But shout out to the fans. Like, I respect.
Sure.
I said it earlier. The Indy and the OKC fans have showed out. Like, I'm really impressed with both of these fan bases. And you're right. Like, it is the first time they've been there in a little bit, but. I mean,
in a little bit. I mean,
25 years for Indy. I mean, it's been 13 for OKC, though. OKC's played a lot more meaningful basketball in that time. But I mean, so is Indy. Like, Indy wasn't like all those Paul George years where you were in conference finals multiple years. Like, you were in the conference finals last year. The Oladipo year was fun. Anyway. Shout out to those fans. I respect dedication, but you're right. I'm with you. There's no planet where I'm going to greet the plane at 3:30 in the morning. The game is on. Listen, I'm watching the game. It doesn't matter what time. Sixers are in the finals, bro. I'm watching the game if it starts at 4 in the morning. Like, if it starts at 2 in the morning, I'm up and I'm watching it. Like, that's just, you don't know when you're going to be in those situations again. But yeah, I mean, shoot, it's been since 2001 for us. Like, it's been quite a long time.
I don't really even remember it, honestly.
I remember portions of it. I do remember Vince Carter missing the shot at the end of Game 7 with the Raptors. Sure wish Kawhi had missed that shot too, but Vince did miss an 0-1.
I do remember that. I remember that. I was getting on a train to drive home, to ride home from Raleigh, and had it streaming on my phone, and that sucked.
I remember Vince missing. I mean, I remember like bits and pieces of the Bucks. Like, I remember of the Bucks series. Like, I remember, that Bucks had the big three at the time: Ray Allen and Glenn Robinson, and Sam Cassell. I remember that going to 7. Like, I remember AI having a bunch of points. They won Game 7 by a zillion points. And I do remember. I remember AI stepping over Ty Lue. I truly remember that from when I was in 4th grade. I remember that game. Because they had no business winning it. And what people forget, because AI hit that cold shot step over Ty Lue, AI was horrible that game. Like, it was it's a miracle they won that game. When you look at it, like, you go back and it's like, dude, Eric Snow had the game of his life. Like, what was happening? And then, of course, obviously, like, the Lakers didn't lose the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And I've never seen them play in the conference finals or the finals since. So it's been a little bit. I was in 4th grade then. I'm 34 now.
Yep. Yep, and here we are still apparently fans of them for whatever reason.
Anyway, thank God for the Eagles, man. All right, balling for me is Victor Wembanyama, who is on a great NBA offseason side quest right now. He's over in China at the Shaolin Temple, going through like monk training. He's on a retreat, is what they're calling it. I feel almost like disrespectful calling it monk training. So like I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, Wemby's over there. I mean, he's doing it. He's living the lifestyle. He's, he shaved his head. He's, you know, immersing himself. And he's going to be concentrating. This is all part of his like concentrating on his training. He shaved his head, like I said. Just I mean, obviously, if you're a Spurs fan, you gotta be soaking this up. You gotta be like, man, his mentality's gonna be so elite. We're cooking it. He's dominating when he comes back.
His discipline's gonna be off the charts when he comes back. I'll have to watch it and check back. There's a guy who did a YouTube video in 2021 where he did training with these same monks. It looks like for a month. And so he did a bunch of like YouTube, like, here's what I learned, here's how you do it. And he talks about obviously combat skills, martial arts training, but like, Buddhist philosophy and personal growth and discipline, mindfulness, practice, like being repetitive and staying to yourself. Like, I'm interested to watch this video and kind of see and be like, man, if Wemby gets any of this, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 10-day retreat, but I just I love the video too, because like he's out running, and it's just again where it's just like here's Wemby running with these monks, and he's just like he's like 8 feet tall basically, and it's like you see all these people jogging, and then you just see Wemby. It's like what is? And he shaved his head. How is this guy real?
He shaved his head. He's got the whole look going. Yeah, man, it's a good time. Good for him.
Yeah. But either way, shout out to Wemby. Love the offseason side quest. Who's fallen for you this week?
I feel like sorry, this is a way side comment. I feel like sports person is really the only person that can like disappear to a retreat with monks, have their head fully shaved, and it'd be like, good for them. Because if I did it, you'd be like, are you good? Like, do you need
for sure. Oh, my God. Or if we went to go train with the monks for 10 days in Shaolin, they would think we're having an existential crisis and like going
midlife
through
crisis. Like, you good, man? Do we need to send you to therapy to get? Do you need to talk to somebody?
It's like, the 34-year-old white dude went to China to study with the Buddhist. Wow, he's really going through it right now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, people would check on you. I think anybody, you heard your boss was doing that, you'd be like, oh, is the company being sold? Like, what's going on? Like it wouldn't go well. So either way,
it just doesn't help either that like I watched Silicon Valley recently, and I just have the image of like Gavin Belson and Ehrlich being over there in Tibet, like going through a retreat where it's like these people right now.
Right. It's like the last time I saw somebody from not an NBA or a sports standpoint go train with the monks was freaking what's his name? Doctor Strange, and he became a superhero.
Oh my God.
So either way, all right. Fallen for me goes to Stephen A. Smith, who was caught playing solitaire on his phone during Game 4. And of course, people wanted to be like, he claims he could talk ball, but he's out here doing this. Like, honestly, I don't care. I get it. Most people watching the game half the time are on their phones tweeting anyway. It's not like you're watching the whole damn thing anyway. So I don't care about that part. It is a very Stephen A. Smith thing to be playing the solitaire. I do wonder if it's the one that I've been getting like hounded commercials for, that apparently I can pay my mortgage off by playing solitaire.
Jesus Christ. we have oh my God. All right. There's going to be, this is too long of a podcast for me to like go into that whole conversation, but like, can we, like, how is that legal?
Right? Those commercials are crazy. It's like the one girl sitting there. She's like, what's wrong? She's like, I can't pay my mortgage. She's like, oh, you should play solitaire.
Right. Like, what? On the other hand, though, shout solitaire. I love solitaire. It's a great boomer game, too, I feel like. If you're playing Stephen like solitaire or free cell or like, they had the spider solitaire for a little bit on all Microsoft computers back in the day. So, like, I kind of respect playing solitaire. I ain't even mad at that. Yeah, I mean, again, it's Stephen A. I weirdly, I don't have the like insane take about this you would think I will. Like, yeah, you should be watching the game, but ESPN's also decided that they need Stephen A. Smith at literally everything that's ever existed. And so when you're at every sporting event that's ever existed, a part of me is also like, yeah, I might not be watching every event either the way I would. Like,
you need a break, man. Like, you just need a second to like not think and turn the brain off and play some solitaire. Like,
yeah, it's just also like, maybe we shouldn't have Stephen A. Smith like go everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it just goes back to the greater conversation of like, what is ESPN doing as a whole? Like, it doesn't really make sense. But again, longer podcast. We could go on for a long time there. Fallin for me is something we briefly talked about in the intro, and that is the Knicks coaching search, because the Knicks have decided that they are going to speak to any and every basically active coach that there still is. So they requested permission to speak with Quinn Snyder and were denied. They requested permission to speak with Ime Udoka and they were denied. They requested permission to speak with Chris Finch and they were denied. They requested permission to speak with Jason Kidd and were denied. And it just like, I respect the consistency of trying to pry every active head coach out there. I am still baffled that Jason Kidd is high on anybody's coaching radar to be their head coach. Like, that just, it's the prime example of like, I look at that lineup of Udoka, Finch, Snyder, and Jason Kidd, and I'm going, one of these things is not like the other. But
I don't know, man.
I know. I know. It's not Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd, especially after the Luka thing, like Jason Kidd is not a good NBA head coach.
Still got him into the playoffs.
He did a terrible job with the Nets. He did a terrible job with the Bucks. He's arguably not even really been that great with Dallas. I know they got to the finals, but like, I don't know. Dallas fans aren't exactly thrilled with Jason Kidd. The rest of them I get. Like, Udoka's a good coach for sure. I mean, the only reason Udoka got fired is because he just like, couldn't be appropriate in the workplace for a little bit. It wasn't because he was a bad coach in Boston. I mean, certainly did great the first year.
He might need to go train with the monks.
He fumbled Nia Long. I feel like his punishment's already pretty brutal. Like,
that's fair. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Like, you got one of the time greats out there, and anyway, I digress. They finally, since then, have moved on to a little more like traditional coaches that are available. So like, they've talked to Mike Brown and they've talked to Taylor Jenkins, and I'm like, wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Wow, yeah, finally.
Mike Malone is still a guy that I would wonder too if he doesn't get an interview. Like, I think obviously that's the big kind of coach that's hanging out there right now. Malone, but Taylor Jenkins is too. Like, I don't want to Mike Malone getting fired later in the season took away from the drama of Taylor Jenkins. But it was like, dude, Taylor Jenkins, I thought did a pretty good job at Memphis when all was said and done. Like, even he made adjustments to their offense, and it just didn't kind of work. But that felt like it was more of a personality and personnel thing than it was a Taylor Jenkins being a bad coach thing.
No, but if I'm Mike Malone, I am definitely intrigued by the Knicks gig because of how close they were. It's like, man, you make a few tweaks, like, again, depth, and we're rolling here. So yeah. I think that would be an interesting plug for him. So
Mike Brown is okay. I feel like we kind of like, I don't know. Like, Mike Brown's a good coach, but it's like I feel like we've done this before. Like, I think he's a better assistant than a head coach at this point. I know he won Coach of the Year with the Kings a few years ago, but like, he also wasn't doing a great job towards the end in Sacramento. I would, if I'm between Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins, I'd probably take the Taylor Jenkins swing there.
Sure.
We'll see. But regardless, they're not getting any of the four guys we first named. And I just think it's hilarious. I'm like, how do you let it publicly leak that you're trying to get every active NBA? And why would an NBA franchise like let you just pry their coach like that? Like, there would really have to be something going on, an active desire for the coach to leave, because otherwise it's like, it's one of those where like, I just get that phone call. Like, if I'm Houston and I get that phone call and it's the Knicks and they go, hello, we want to talk to Ime Udoka right now. Like, I would just laugh and hang up. I would hang up on that. Like, that'd be one of those where I wish you could like literally physically just slam the phone down the way you used to be able to back in the day. It's like, what are you talking about, Knicks? Like, what are we doing?
Again, it just, to me, it gives off they didn't have a plan after they got rid of their coach. And to me, that's weird because that coach just got you the furthest you've been in a very long time. So
I'm still conflicted about that. And so like, that's kind of my thing is where I'm also like, I don't think firing Tibbs is the worst thing in the world.
But
I
maybe
think
you keep him
the
on
timing
if you
stinks, though.
Right, keep him on, and if you can't go get whoever, Udoka, oh my God, or whoever, you
can't have a head coach and then actively be trying to recruit head coaches while he's still employed.
You just poke around a little bit.
Yeah, you poke around. Yeah, you poke around a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure that would be great.
Just do some poking.
Oh, I hear you. All right. Should we play some Immaculate Grid here?
Sure thing. Boom.
We got some heavy stats this week or what? Yeah, heavy stats. But all right, we got a few new ones. And 10 points per game is hilarious. You really can get pretty low with it. 10 is not that many. So you can really kind of get unique with it a little bit. All right, for the podcast listeners, again, you can always watch Immaculate Grid on YouTube. Just search Driving Dish NBA Podcast. If you are not a YouTube watcher and a podcast listener, so our columns from left to right this week are the Clippers, only one team and 10,000 career rebounds. Our rows from top to bottom, the Sixers, the Lakers, and 10 points a game per season. So Justin, I will start with you. Do you have any that jump out off the page?
So a little strategy here, and you can tell me to get off the ledge if you think it's a bad move.
Uh-huh.
The obvious one team 76er is Maxey. So
yeah, for sure.
I think we do one team 10 points per game Maxey because he's already going to be used and nobody else is probably going to think about him in that category.
No, you're right. I mean, dude, there's so many. I mean, only one team for the Sixers. The obvious answers are, well, there's three big ones. It's Embiid, it's Maxey, and it's probably Jared McCain at this point, honestly.
Oh, McCain's I would say McCain would probably be third on those that people would use.
I mean, dude, if you want the lowest percentage, you got to do some of the second rounders who they have. So I'm thinking of Adam Bona, for example. Ooh, or I'm thinking of Justin Edwards, who the Sixers picked up as a undrafted free agent this year. And he's only played with us. Those are the guys that the guys that honestly they played this year. At that point, I would go Justin Edwards over Bona, only because Bona was a second round pick. So I think he might Justin Edwards played more meaningful minutes, I guess. But I don't know. You gotta do it. He's gonna be 1%. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So then you want to run Maxey 10 points per game?
I'm super fine with that because I think it's gonna. I mean, there's obviously plenty of options.
Or do we do Jared McCain?
Did Jared have 10 again? I
he had to have had 10. Right? He was dropping 20-some in games.
I know. It's just he played in so few games that it's but no, you're right. I feel like he had to have 10 a game.
Should we go Jared there?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That'll be super low.
Ian?
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna be he'll be lower than Maxey is. I feel
0.9. That's good. Yeah, let's keep it 76ers.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, shoot, if we want to knock out all the Sixers ones, I mean, 10K rebounds for the Sixers. The two obvious ones are Moses Malone and shoot, as I say, obvious Charles Barkley. Yeah. Dikembe Mutombo.
Drummond was there for a second, yeah.
Drummond was. Drummond's still there now.
He's still there.
Yeah, Drummond's back. Drummond's our backup center.
I say Drummond would be an easy one, probably less thought about.
Yeah, Drummond, Dwight.
Dwight would be a good one.
I mean, Drummond's probably.
Although honestly, Dwight Howard at 10K rebounds for Lakers could also work.
Yeah, it could.
So you want to go? Let's go Drummond Sixers.
Yeah, I'm fine going Drummond there.
Because people I don't think they associate. Yeah, I don't think they associate.
No, I mean 3%. No, I mean he's been all over. But yeah, 10K rebound. I mean, definitely, like you said, Barkley's well known as one of the best rebounders in the game. Mutombo won Defensive Player of the Year with the Sixers. Moses Malone's a Hall of Famer, multiple-time MVP.
And
Will Chamberlain. We even say Will Chamberlain, who also works for the Lakers.
Oh, yep.
I mean, Lakers got a bunch. Lakers, the obvious ones.
Yeah, Lakers have a good one.
Lakers, the obvious ones are Wilt, Kareem,
Jack.
Wait, what? Oh, Shaq. I thought you said Jack. I'm like, who the hell is Jack?
No. Shaq. Yeah. Shaq. Maybe. Gasol.
Yeah, Gasol definitely does.
Yeah.
They have so. Oh, Rodman. Did Dennis Rodman play for the Lakers? He would
Oh,
work.
Rodman would be a fun one.
God, they have another big. I feel like I'm missing. Um, like I'm trying to think of the guy. Well, I guess Kareem was with Magic too. I'm like trying to think of the guys who were Magic. They had a bunch of good bigs, but I don't know if any of them had 10. I mean, yeah, my initial indications out of that group
Mozgov doesn't have it, right? Mozgov never ended.
Is nowhere near 10,000 career.
Can I see how many he has? I'm curious. Timothy.
If Mozgov has 5,000, I would be stunned.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm pulling up. This is going to take him off the board if he has it. Where's totals? Let's see. Mozgov totals, rebounds. Yeah, not even close. 8 years, 2,225 rebounds.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, it would have been a miracle if he had that many.
All right. So then, if we want to finish the Sixers line, since we have Sixers Clippers as our last one, we could go Covington. We could go Dario. We could go Harden.
Harden's the obvious one.
Yeah. Paul George.
Elton Brand, Paul George. Yeah, Paul George, obvious too. Yeah, Elton Brand for sure.
Lou Williams, right?
Lou Williams does work. Yep. No, Lou definitely works. I would argue Lou would be. Does Sarge work? When did Sarge play for the Clippers? Covington definitely works, but I don't think Dario played for the Clippers, dude.
Who am I thinking of? That it was not. Maybe it wasn't Dario. Then we had another Sixers 3-point shooter guy go out there.
No.
Dario.
Oh, well, it's not. I mean, I don't think it's who you're thinking of, but Eric Gordon works too.
No, Eric Gordon works. No, who went out there? Shamet. Shamet.
Yes,
There it is. Okay.
Shamet does work. He's been everywhere. That's honestly probably a good one.
So I say we do this.
Bob Lute works too, but I think we've used it before there.
Let's do Shamet at Sixers Clippers, and then
I'm definitely good with that.
And then do Lou Will at 10 points per game Clippers.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. That works.
Okay.
Oh, no, who else works there? Montrezl Harrell works there. I don't think we should use him, but I think he works there. DeAndre Jordan works there. There's a lot low key, actually. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm good with Lou there. Lou Williams, Lou definitely had 10 a game for the Clippers.
2%. We are staying low, baby.
I mean, 10's like there's so many options, but you're right, because with the Clippers too, you think of like, Kawhi, you think of Chris Paul, you think of Blake. Oh, dude, Sixers Clippers, man, there's so many. JJ Redick works.
JJ would be a good one. Yeah.
Clippers Lakers. The first one that comes to my mind, and maybe it's because he's been such a Immaculate Grid darling because I don't use him enough in the past, is Matt Barnes.
What about the is he still the center on the
Zubac.
Yeah,
works.
Zubac. Yeah.
Definitely works.
He'd be a fun one to do.
He started his career with the Lakers. Let's see. He was in that. He was in the trade.
Yep. Should we go? You think that'd be low?
No, because I think he currently plays for the Clippers. But
yeah, that's fair.
I'm trying to think of like other guys who did both. I think did Rondo play for the Clippers? I feel like Rondo. If Rondo played for the Clippers, he did both. Yeah, Russ definitely works. Russ will be high.
Yeah. Yep.
Russ might be number one, honestly, just because of how recent it was.
Yep.
Beyond that.
Rondo didn't end up with the Clippers at any point, right?
I don't think so, and that's what if he did, it was for one season.
No, I don't even think he was there. I know.
I think DeMarcus Cousins works.
Boogie does work, and Boogie would be a really interesting one to throw at 10,000 rebounds for the Lakers.
Yeah, low key. Boogie just got thrown out of the Puerto Rican basketball league. I don't know if you saw that.
That was actually going to be my Fallin at one point. But that's genuinely hilarious to me. Like that whole situation's so wild.
It was wild.
Like, bro, what? Should we do Boogie at 10,000 rebounds?
Yeah, he has it, right?
There's no way he doesn't have 10,000.
The only reason I'd be worried is just because he had a bunch of like injuries at the end of his career. Like a lot. Like more than I'd feel better with him at Lakers Clippers than I would.
All right. All right, I'll go Boogie, Lakers, Clippers.
Wait, he played for the Lakers, right? Or did he get hurt?
I mean, he was on the Lakers. I
I
assumed he
know, but then I
played.
think he got hurt because then Dwight got picked up. And now I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know if he
Dwight.
ever played for them. He signed with them, but I'm like, did he ever play a game with them?
I mean, I just assumed he did. I don't know. I was just gonna assume.
You know what? I'm gonna assume no. I don't feel good about it.
Okay.
Only because we have better options there. Like, sure. I'd rather go.
God, do we want to do
back
Dwight?
And forth on Rondo, man? I'm fine with Dwight at 10K there. Yeah, I think Dwight will be. I mean, Dwight will be lower than Shaq, Wilt, Kareem.
Yeah.
Powell,
he's 6%.
Like 6%. Yeah. Powell might have been lower, but that's about the only one I can think of where I'm like, oh yeah, that definitely would have been lower.
Yeah.
If you want to do Powell for 10K rebounds and 10 points per game a season, that works.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
I think he's low. I don't think people associate point nice. Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. So Lakers one team and Lakers Clippers.
I mean, Lakers one team, the three that come to mind are Kobe, Elgin Baylor, and Jerry West. Like, those are the Lakers. I mean, Magic is Magic too, obviously.
Well, and then they're younger guys who haven't gone anywhere.
Well, and so that's where I think the money's at. If we want to have a younger percentage, it's like, you think of the younger guys who, they've drafted. But so like Austin Reeves, for example. Austin Reeves currently.
I think Reeves would be a good one. Yeah.
I'm like trying to think of guys that they draft. I'm trying to think of the rookies. Oh, dude, no works. No, we should do, dude. This is so bad, but no, we should do, dude. Bronny. Two ends.
Yep, there he was. I saw him. Bronny James. But watch this be like 10%.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, he certainly has a lot of potential for it.
I love that.
All right. What do we want to do here for Lakers and Clippers? Do we want to do Barnes? Do we want to do Zubac? Do we want to do
my first thought was Zubac. So
do Zubac. I'm fine with Zubac. You can close it out.
Zubac. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Boom, 2%.
Nice. Wow, it was 2, really?
Oh, 12.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, only because like the Lakers were his first team. I mean, he's still on the roster. That's why I'm surprised. 74 Sixers and Clippers. We weren't kidding there. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Rondo does work for Lakers Clippers. He briefly played for the Clippers for 18 games.
DeAndre Jordan would have been another one.
I said that. Yeah, I said that. Bob McAdoo, I would have never gotten.
Ben Simmons? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Ben's current. Yeah, you're right. That would have made sense. Wow. Yeah, PJ Tucker. Yup. Oh, yeah, Batum's a good
Reggie,
one.
Boris,
Marcus,
Wilson.
Reggie. Wow, we had a lot recently. Yeah, wow. Mike Scott, classic.
Tobias.
Pat Bev, Tobias. Yeah, Tobias. You're right. Tobias and Boban. That's what I meant, I think.
Spencer Hawes. Oh, my God.
Oh, Mo Spates would have been crazy. Spencer Hawes would have been crazy. JJ, we said. Byron Mullins. Ugh.
Nick Young. No. She's swaggy. Come on.
I did know that. Matt Barnes. You mentioned Matt Barnes for the Lakers and the Clippers. He would work for us. Right. Oh, man. I forgot about that. It's a good list.
Yeah, it's a good list.
All right. Do we want to go back to the grid?
Yeah.
Let's see the most popular answers for everybody. If you can just scroll down, Justin.
All
right. So most popular answers for Sixers and Clippers: James Harden. For Sixers one team, Joel Embiid. For Sixers 10K rebounds career, Moses Malone. That genuinely stuns me over Barkley, but hey, shout out to Moses. Lakers and Clippers was Russell Westbrook. Lakers one team, Kobe Bryant. Lakers 10K rebounds, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Clippers 10 a game per season, Kawhi Leonard. 10 a game per season, only one team, Larry Bird. And 10 a game per season, 10,000 career rebounds, Shaquille O'Neal. If we want to go back, our grid one last time, we have Landry Shamet for Sixers and Clippers, Justin Edwards for Sixers, only one team, Andre Drummond, Sixers 10K rebounds, Ivica Zubac, Clippers and Lakers, Bronny James, Lakers only one team, Dwight Howard, Lakers 10K rebounds, Clippers 10 a game per season, Lou Williams, only one team and 10 a game per season, Jared McCain, and 10,000 career rebounds and 10 a game per season, Pau Gasol. Thank you everybody for listening to this episode of the Driving Dish NBA podcast. Appreciate you guys as always. Leave us a review on iTunes, good or bad. I'll read them on the podcast. If you're not an Apple user, anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us.
We're on YouTube, Drive and Dish NBA on YouTube. That way you can watch along when we play Immaculate Grid, and obviously subscribe. You'll get notifications when new episodes are coming out.